the joys of being a small animal vet with the more arduous responsibilities in the farms at the weekend, perhaps. It's a life you love.
90% of the time. There's the odd day now you do anything but veterinary, but I would do it again. 90% of the time I am very happy in my job, and it is very rewarding.
Yeah, it's a big commitment. It has been a big commitment since school days, because you go through your second level education and then you're into university, and that's a long course.
It's a 5-year course. It is extremely difficult to get into. Sometimes you wonder why. Should have done dentistry or should have done medicine. Yeah. But it is a very different lifestyle. Yeah, some people say it's a vocation, and perhaps it is a vocation.
You have the blessing and the tribulation at the same time of working on patients who, one, can't complain, and who, two, can't tell you what's wrong with them.
That's correct. If only we could just work with the animals, it would be so much easier. But in a way, we're the last of the caring profession still in private hands, and that is, it's a special place to be in. And you do make contacts, and you can touch people in a certain way that nobody else can, really.
Yeah. Because you're dealing with, maybe in cases, the greatest love in their life.
That's it. People's pets can actually mean more to them than some people.
Mm. I don't mind sharing this with people. You helped me out once when I had a dog that, for reasons that weren't directly affected with his health, had to be put to sleep.
That's right.
And that was my dog.
Yeah.
And it was a difficult time for me. But you handled that with great sensitivity, and you're almost a philosopher about it. Those elements of caring have to come in as well from your point of view.
You have to empathise with people. And I think anybody that has had a dog, or any vet that has had a dog, should be able to empathise with people. Too often in this world, people are too brusque and just in and out. But you have to treat people with respect. And people are emotional at certain times in their pet's life. And you have to bear that in mind.
We know what people think about their pets. You're perhaps uniquely suited to have an observation, if not an accurate observation, an observation certainly, about what the pets think of the people.
Most pets adore their owners. They worship the ground they walk on. Even if you do shout at them, they'll come back and they look up into your eyes, honest love. Dogs are all forgiving. Somebody said, dogs are the only animal that love you more than they love themselves. And it is true.
It is true.
Yeah.
It's an extraordinary thing that I've been told that the cat is a different creature. It's a hunter, it's an inheritor of the jungle, and it's out there, and it's totally independent.
Someone once said, the cat looks down on us, the dog looks up to us, but only the pig looks upon us as an equal. And it is very true. A pig will look you eye to eye, man to man, but a dog will adore you, will worship you.
And that brings you into the area of the farmyard.
Yes.
Now, sometimes, recently, all the accidents that occur in farms, and I hear people talking about the need nowadays to be more and more careful with creatures on the farms, because, dare I suggest, creatures now have a lot more angularity to them than they might have done 40 years ago, for some reason that I can't define.
There's a lot of it has to do with the breeding of the animal. A lot of it also has to do with farming techniques. 40 years ago, perhaps there were 8 cows in a farm. Every cow was a pet, had direct contact with the farmer, whereas now a lot of the bigger farms, there is no direct contact, and the animals aren't aware of who the farmer is. It's just a man.
Yeah, and he can be an enemy.
He can be an enemy as well, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose ultimate enemy. He'll
that's
take
it,
you to
the end,
take
the end of the day,
take you to the meat factory, and
you're
that's
there
it.
for one reason.
But the good thing is, increasingly nowadays, creatures on the farms have a better class of life. They're out very often. Sometimes it's more and more rare to see hens cooped up in small boxes and things like that.
Welfare issues are changing with public demand, and it's probably a good thing, such as tethering sows, and as you say, the battery hens have gone. People are moving towards barn hens or free-range hens, and it is only good for the animal, or can only be good for the animal. Stress levels.
Indeed, the stress levels are down, and it's a lovely lifestyle. But people have to be aware of the need to pay for that, the privilege of the animals doing better. People need to pay the price.
They have to be aware of what they're paying for, and they also have to be aware of what they are buying. That was the case there quite recently with the horse meat. But I think if people realise what they are paying for, they will pay that bit extra for the sake of the animal.
I reckon you're right there, of course, yes. And back to what kind of small animals come through your door here?
Fortunately, we see very few exotics. It's mainly dogs, cats, we get rabbits, hamsters, guinea pigs, ferrets as well are quite popular now. But there's very few snakes, lizards, things like that.
Wow. I know a man who
see
loves
occasionally.
snakes. Yeah, snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's as much as I know. It's